Today, a little special edition of the video. We got review for 8.3's 8.4 quiz. I'm going to go through each one of these, make sure you guys know what's up for the quiz coming. Starting the party off with some proportions, and that's really the main theme of this quiz. Is we're going to be setting proportions up, cross multiplying, solving. The first couple questions here just want to get the party started, and so let's see. Number one, we say A is to B as what is to E. So A is to B as D is to E. And number two, we say, let's see, B is to what as E is to F. So E is to F as B would be to C. And then number three, this is an important one, as we'll see coming up a little later in this review. You can put some things together. A is to B plus C. So you can put A is to this whole combination of B plus C as what would be to E plus F, and of course that would be D. Alright, so you'll see that not only does this work for each segment, but it also works when you combine segments in this situation. And again, it's because you have parallel lines being cut by a couple transversals. It's going to break things up proportionally. All right, number four. Now in this one, here we go again, same concept. We have a parallel action happening. So 30 is to 10 as whatever this piece is to x. Well, that piece, if the whole entire thing is 45, subtract 30, you'd have 15. So 30 is to 10 as 15 is to x. Cross multiply, and we get x is 5. Okay. Next one, now we get into our angle bisector theorem for a triangle. And pretty straightforward here. We have x is to 12 as 20 is to 16. So again, the clue is you see those angle bisectors, you know it's going to divide the triangle proportionally. And so when you cross multiply, x is 15 in this case. Another triangle angle bisector theorem. We've got the bisector here of an angle of a triangle. We'll break it up proportionally. So I know x is to 6 as whatever this is to 4. And again, if the whole thing is 6, then we can represent this piece by taking 6 and subtracting the x. That's kind of messy, hold on. My x, so that's x. So 6 minus x would be this piece. So x is to 6, that's that part, as 6 minus x is to 4. And when you cross multiply, we've got 3.6 in this case. So this is an important skill for us. If we have an entire side being a certain quantity, we can subtract out the left-hand side of it to achieve the right-hand side. All right, so there's the first 6. Number 7, more fun with parallel inside of a triangle. And we can go left, right, right, left, however you want to do it. I'll just say 8 is to 6 as 10 is to x. Cross multiply, 7.5. Or, you can go up, down, left, right. If I go 8 over 10 equals 6 over x, or you can go right, left. 6 over 8 equals x over 10. Lots of different ways to set it up. As long as you do the same thing on the right as you do on the left. So here I'll just go like x is to 2 as 13 minus x is to 3. So x is to 2 as 13 minus x is to 3. And the main thing we want to remember here is to think about the quantity. So when you cross multiply, you've got 3x. Then you go this way. And then when you cross this way, you have 2 times the quantity of 13 minus x. And when you solve that out, you should get 5.2. All right, more fun with subtracting. Down here, we know we got x is to 4, so I can do that. Now I need to represent this segment. Well, if the whole thing's 11, the bottom part is x, the top part would be 11 minus x. So in this case, I can say 4 is to x as 9 is to 11 minus x. Again, when I cross multiply, keep in mind the quantity. So when you cross this up, you're going to get 4 times 11 minus x equal to 9x. And after distributing, you get x equals approximately 3.4 in this one. All right, now, very important question here. SAT type question. They love this kind of stuff because you're using a lot of different concepts in the same question. So that's what we've got here. So when I first look at this, I got the angle bisector. That's why it's in this section. So I know that x is to 12 as y is to 8. But that's two variables with just one equation, so that's not going to be enough for me. If I think, all right, how do I set this up? X is to 12 as y is to 8. Can't cross multiply that because you have too many variables. So we have to turn our attention to what else is happening in this problem, and they give you a pretty good idea of what's happening here. The perimeter of the triangular lot at the right is 50 meters. So they've got to give you some other information or else you can't solve it. And in this case, perimeter around the outside, all the way around the outside of this triangle is 50 meters. So that's a clue. Perimeter, let's take x plus y plus 8 plus 12 has to be equal to 50. So all of your segments that would calculate the perimeter, make an equation. Now we've got two equations now with two variables, so we should be able to solve this bad boy. All you have to do now is isolate. This is just a typical algebra skill we've been working on all year. And I'll just take a look at the equation on the right here, and I'll say I want to isolate x. Just subtract 8, subtract 12, subtract y. Get everything to the other side. So that leaves me with 30 minus y. Now you have a variable isolated, so you can plug that into the other equation for x. So 30 minus y is to 12 as y is to 8. So you're taking that, and everywhere you see an x in the other equation, you substituted it. Now we've got an equation with one variable, so when you cross multiply this, you get y equals 12. Again, keep in mind that's a quantity. And then once you have that, you can plug it into either equation. I can just take that 12, plug it in there, and 30 minus 12, x would be 18. So boom, there it is. So a difficult problem when you first look at it, but really it breaks down rather simply. So there you go, number 10. All right, now in 11, 12, and 13, you'll definitely have a section like this on the quiz where you are checking to see if the triangles are similar, and if so, why or how. So we're thinking SASSY or SSS for this one. And let's see number 11. I just match them up. Biggest side is 84, biggest side is 14. So 84 to 14. Does that equal, so you're checking for proportionality. Now I say, all right, the medium side is 48. The medium side here, oops, I'm sorry. Medium side is not 48. Medium side of this one is 72. Medium side here is 12. So 72 over 12. And is that equal to the small sides matched up, 48 to 8. And each of these fractions equals 6. So we'd say, yes, this is a side, side, side situation. Now you just want to match up the proper angles. So if they went C first, go F first. So F, G, H for that triangle. Number 12. Looking at this, I only have two sides for each, so I'm not going to be able to do SSS. Aha, I have the vertical angles though, so this one could get sassy. Let's check and see if it gets sassy. I'm going to match up 14 with 49 and see if that equals 8 over 28. You can either cross multiply or divide it in your calculator. And you get a yes situation here. Those are equivalent fractions. So this has got sassy. So matching them up, V goes with V. The U would match up with L, and the T with the M. So again, triangle VO. All right, 13. Again, two sides, two sides. So I got my vertical angles. So this one could get sassy. Let's check. 40 is to 16 as 39 is to 16. Oh no, no. Not equivalent fractions, so therefore not going to be similar triangles. All right, 14. Checking this one. I got a couple different things in play here. I have the angle bisector, and I have some parallel stuff happening. So this one shakes down rather neatly, actually. So I can just say, well, let's see. X is to 6. 7.8 is to 9. Or you could find this missing piece and treat it as two separate triangles. And yeah, either way, you'll get that answer. Let me do it that way, because that's, in case you run into a problem like that, you may have to break it up into separate pieces. So for instance, like if I treat this triangle at the top with my rules of angle bisectors, I can find, I'll just call it y. So like y is to 6 as 7.2 is to 9. Get a value of 4.8. And then I could use that, 4.8, in the bottom triangle and say x is to 4.8 as 7.8 is to 7.2 for a grand total of 5.2. So keep in mind that you can break them down. And over here, all right, now we can't just go straight across because we'd have too many variables and we have no other information regarding it. So the key to this one, this information, 798, that's the key. Find the whole 3 segments added together here. Just simply add those 3 together. Now you can set proportions up that exist. Like I can say the whole entire thing is to this whole entire thing as each piece breaks down separately. So I have that information here for you. Like the whole thing is to the whole thing as each little piece is to each little piece. So you can get the value of x, you can get the value of y, and then you can just subtract each of those off of 798 to get the value of z. So again, you can piece anything that you want together. You can say 2 of them is to 2 of them, 3 of them is to 3 of them, 1 of them is to 1 of them. That'll all work because it's always proportional. All right, friends, that is a wrap on the 8384 review, a very important one for the quiz coming up. All right, peace.